his son. What's he saying?
Yeah, and he has a lengthy statement here, Hallie, where he is referencing really just to the emotional turmoil that his father has gone through his entire life. And he really says that for his own entire life, Hunter Biden writes, "I've looked at my dad in awe. How could he suffer so much heartache and yet give so much of whatever remained of his heart to others, not only in the policies he passed, but in the individual lives he's touched?" And Hunter Biden, the president's son, goes on to say that really he felt that the president, his father, had just really given his decades of service to countless everyday Americans. He says who he has given his personal cell phone number to because he wanted them to call when they were hurting, when their last hopes were slipping through their hands. That unconditional love, Hunter Biden writes, has been his North Star as a president and as a parent. He's unique in all public life because there is no distance between Joe Biden, the man, and Joe Biden, the public servant of the last 54 years. Hunter Biden ends this statement by saying that he's so lucky every night that he gets to call his dad, the president, to tell him that he loves him and to thank him for all that he does. And at the end and conclusion of this statement, he says, "I ask all Americans to join me tonight in doing the same. Thank you, Mr. President. I love you, Dad." So, of course, there's so much to unpack from this incredibly close relationship, Hallie, but we should just point out that it was our own reporting a couple of weeks ago that brought to light the fact that Hunter Biden, who, of course, is a family member, is very, very typically around the president and has been at White House events over the last couple of years, even and despite some of his legal troubles where there had been questions about his proximity to the president and whether that was doing any damage to his campaign. And the president always wanted to have him close and to keep it that way. But in the last couple of weeks, as the president was facing this Democratic dissent and the calls for him to step aside, we knew through our reporting that Hunter Biden was a really key figure in consulting with his dad about the path forward and had even been in a couple of White House meetings, which surprised some of those senior advisors. But I think it's no surprise here that as we're hearing in depth from Hunter Biden, that really they want to put the focus on their dad and the person that they know so well in terms of the human being. And that's likely what you'll hear from other family members who've been posting on social media today and will continue to, we're told, and from the First Lady whenever she makes more extensive comments as well, Hallie.
Monica, in the 30 seconds we have left, no timeline yet for when we might hear from President Biden, right?
That's right. And he is still in Delaware for now. We don't expect him to return to the White House today. At least it's unclear whether he'll be coming back tomorrow or the next day. We understand it's all dependent on what his doctor assesses based on when he tests negative for COVID. And that is something that they simply cannot predict at this point. But he did say he would have more to tell the American people at some point this coming week. We just don't know which day yet, Hallie.
Monica Alba, thank you very much. So again here, President Biden withdrawing from the 2024 campaign, endorsing his vice president, Kamala Harris, as the Democratic nominee. That is not a done deal yet, with many questions as to where this goes from here. A pivotal moment, of course, for Democrats and for the country. Thank you for joining us for our coverage here on NBC News Now. We've got more coverage coming up on Nightly News and on NBCnews.com. For all of us at NBC, I'm Hallie Jackson. Thanks for watching.
Influential presidents in American history. He rescued the country from a once-in-a-century pandemic, saved the economy from the possibility of recession, and also, of course, was able to preserve our democracy by defeating the former president, the insurrectionist in chief, and someone who wants to turn back the clock on the United States of America. He has put people over politics and patriotism over personal position. And this is another heroic act in a long-running series of heroic acts by Joe Biden on behalf of the American people from the moment he was first elected back in 1972 to the United States Senate.
Now let's turn to Trump, who responded to this afternoon's news by calling Joe Biden our nation's worst president in a phone interview with NBC News. Now, this follows the Trump campaign rally in Michigan last night, where he lobbed insults after insults at Vice President Kamala Harris, presuming that Vice President Harris becomes the Democratic nominee. How do you expect Trump will run against her?
Well, Donald Trump is running scared. House Republicans are running scared. Extreme MAGA Republicans are running scared because the focus right now is going to turn back to Project 2025, which is the Trump plan to end America and our values and our path forward as we know it, to turn back the clock. The focus is going to be on the extreme Supreme Court justices who ripped away reproductive freedom from the women of America. The focus is going to be on Trump and his policies of trying to enact big tax cuts for the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected. And we're going to be able to contrast that with our vision of putting people over politics, fighting for lower costs, ending price gouging, defending democracy, standing up for a woman's freedom to make her own reproductive health care decisions, and growing the middle class.
Now, when you talk about the contrast, isn't this really probably the clearest contrast we've had in presidential races in a long time, with all of the rights and all of the things that were fought for at risk, and some already being aborted by this Supreme Court, 3 of which were nominated by Trump. And you could have more of a contrast in characters. I've already said this race will be the prosecutor versus the felon if we were having a boxing match. In Congress, Republicans are holding on to a razor-thin majority in the House. Are you confident that this kind of momentum that the vice president may bring to the race now, that Democrats are on track to win back the chamber, which would make you the speaker? What are you hearing from members? I know you are probably going to be meeting and having Zoom calls with them, but what are you hearing? And are you hearing anything from voters? You and I were just at a church in Brooklyn a couple hours ago, and it seemed like it was enthusiasm there. What are you hearing, Mr. Leader?
Members are very excited. Voters on the ground are very excited. The party is very excited. We want to continue to lift up President Joe Biden and all of his incredible accomplishments. And as he's made the decision to pass the torch, plot the path forward to make sure that we win the presidency, hold the Senate, and certainly take back control of the United States House of Representatives. Everything that we care about is on the line. If Roe v. Wade can fall, then anything can fall. Social Security can fall, Medicare can fall, the Affordable Care Act can fall, the progress that we've made on the climate crisis can fall, gun safety reform can fall, democracy itself as we know it can fall. So everything we care about is on the line, and you're going to see an intensity and an energy and a capacity unleashed by the American people to make sure that this goes the right way in November.
Are you confident about the Democrats?
I'm muted. Can you scoot up a little bit? We're in a catty corner. And let me stop you right there. All those things have already fallen. The abortion rights, gone. What else did he say? I can't even remember. Let me just scoot it back a little bit and let's remind ourselves of what he just said, because it was all some bullshit. All the promises have fallen. Every last single one of them
can fall. Democracy itself as we know it can fall.
Oh, wait.
So everything we
Let's scoot it back a little bit more. Here we go. Hello, everybody, by the way. I want to try something different today. I want to give you guys the opportunity. When I said, what do you think? I really meant it. If you DM me and say you want to come on and give your opinion, I'm going to send you a guest link. And I want you to come on and give your opinion, because this is like a historical moment. We should all be a part of it together, right?
About the Democrats' ability to unify after a nominee is in place so close to the election.
I am. I think that we will do what's necessary over the next few weeks to prepare for the convention. It'll be an exciting convention in Chicago. We'll put on full display our agenda for the American people and do what is necessary in order to leave that convention unified, get the job done, work as hard as we can, day after day, week after week, month after month, and be successful on November 5th.
Thank you, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, leader Jeffries, and we will continue to be talking. Thank you.
Right now, let's go to Capitol Hill, where NBC's Ali Vitale is tracking
No, I guess I
congressional
didn't,
reaction. Obviously, it has been weeks for Hakeem Jeffries and other leaders. They have been
I didn't push it back far enough. I'm sorry. Yeah, John H. So Biden finally kept a promise of being a one-term. Well, actually, wasn't it AOC who made a promise of being a one-term represent? She said, if if I can build a ruckus and do it in one term, and then I have to leave, it's worth it. And then she sold her soul. So whatever. I have to show this one. Wait, hold on. John, are you black? Can you let me know in the chat? Are you black? Your father thinks, because that's a problem in the black community. Everybody should know by now, I am extremely pro-black, and not the pro-black as like the Clyburn black. I'm not Clyburn black, and never will be. So what is he saying? He just said hi. He didn't tell me. Oh, he's not black. Oh, okay. And your father still, oh, he lost in the sauce too. Okay. He Latino?
So I'm asking.
I mean, I'm not trying to get in your personal business. So what I wanted to just do today is just do like, it's breaking news. So what do we feel about this? What do we think about this? Because who thinks America is going to vote for Kamala Harris? How many people? Let's be real. She couldn't even carry California when she had the chance. They wanted her to be the president. And when she couldn't carry her state, then Clyburn swooped in and made Joe Biden the nominee. He might have had a fish fry or something. I don't know. Y'all remember that? Elizabeth Warren stayed in the race on purpose to undermine the Bernie Sanders crowd while everybody else dropped out. Come on now. Like we didn't see this coming. Okay, thank you, John H. So let me just share this. John H says, he is lost in the sauce though. No, was that the one? Mm-hmm. I think he listens to progressive corporate.
That's why well, support
progressive means like white supremacy light, in my humble opinion.
It's conservative, the Democrats.
It's like they want you to stay in the middle. Why? Why do I need to stay in the middle? The middle is like a nothingness. It's a vacuum of non-progress. What are you saying, Todd Smith? Old blacks, scared blacks, and disconnected blacks in the community.
You said who will vote for Kamala? That's what you asked.
Oh, who will vote for Kamala? Old blacks, scared blacks, and disconnected. Well, we were having this discussion today.
I'm talking about in my community. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know I'm pro-black. Okay. Kamala Harris, in my opinion, is not. They use the term black so loosely. Oh, let me move this. Because there we go. They use the term black so loosely, where anybody that has brown or black skin is black. No. Well, yes. And that's why we had defined for ourselves foundational Black Americans. We weren't given we didn't accept the term nigga. That was given to us. We didn't accept the term Negro. That was given to us. We didn't even accept the term African American. Jesse Jackson, who told him he was our like he just made himself a leader. Hi, Sean.
Can I also add to that I learned something today? I learned from Reggie Bush. I learned from Reggie Bush the term student athlete as far as NCAA. Understand? No, I'm just saying how you said that we were given names and given terms for other usage. The term student athlete in reference to athletes, and we can talk about that later in Black athletes. But I'm saying the term was used to be able to maneuver certain ways to avoid paying students to, you know what I'm saying, to avoid certain things for the student.
And this is a good segue. Well, this is a good way to say that Tosh Schmidt is going to that show she was talking about with Black athletes is going to go live on Tuesday. So please look out for that. Oh, Sean is so busy. He dropped in to say hi and then he had to go. Dang.
It's all good.
Dang, I wanted to hear what he had to say. Yeah, like a job type. Yeah, exactly, John. So jump in Tuesday, John, because she's doing a podcast on Black athletes and politics, and it should be extremely interesting. Now I can't even remember what I was saying because you threw me off, Tasha. What was I saying? What was I saying? All right, I'm just gonna start over then. So let me just think.
Are you talking about progressive?
I don't know what I was talking about because you jumped in. She threw me off. All right, so Kamala, they're trying to portray her. Now I'm just going on another tangent.
No, I know what you were saying.
What was I saying?
You were talking about how they're trying to lump Black into one.
Oh yeah, they're trying to lump Black into one category, and in a sense, in our struggle, we are, but culturally, we are extremely different from one country to another. So I like to call ourselves in America foundational Black Americans. We are descendants of African slaves. Kamala Harris is not one of us. She is a first generation. Her father is Jamaican. Her mother is Indian. She does not identify with us and as us. And that's just the truth. God bless the truth.
You know what that sounds like, man? It sounds like Drake-ish.
It does sound like Drake-ish. Because Drake he's not amongst us.
Political Drake-ish.
It's culture vultures coming into our community, using us as a costume. And then when they're done with us, they take the costume off and poof, they're gone.
Well, they can return like Amber Rose home.
Well, they can return like Amber Rose home. I don't know if y'all could hear her. But I mean, Miley Cyrus did that to us. Justin Timberlake did that to us.
I have something to share with you, okay?
How many people have done that to us? So anyway, if anybody wants to chime in on their own and say what they want to say or how they feel, come on in. You could DM me on X, Abby Do Abby Don't. I'll send you a private chat. You don't have to show your face, but we can hear your voice. So I'm just offering that to you guys because this is a moment in history and we should all be a part of it. So while that is happening, while we're waiting, I'm just going to keep going with this.
Getting an earful, to say the least, from their caucuses about what they thought Joe Biden should do. Now that the decision has been made, what do you make of what we just heard from Hakeem Jeffries? And what are you hearing from folks on the Hill?
Look, we've actually heard Hakeem Jeffries be in listening mode, but not say very much throughout this process, Chris. And of course, that's the way that he has led this Democratic caucus since the time he took the reins from former Speaker Nancy Pelosi. It's been a real initial test of the way that he will run them, whether or not they remain in the majority after November, or if, as Reverend Al was asking him about, if he becomes Speaker and if Democrats are able to take the majority. Of course, all of that is far off, but it's also very much linked with this current moment that we're seeing, and so much of the angst that was coming from Capitol Hill around Joe Biden remaining at the top of the ticket. There was a lot of fear that I was hearing from lawmakers as well as from strategists and other sources about this idea of reverse coattails and dragging Democrats in districts where they very much needed to either outperform the president or perform on par with him, especially based on 2020 metrics. Now, of course, we'll watch them all reacclimate to this climate in real time. But I think the really fascinating thing is going to be to watch the ways in which these lawmakers either advocate for an open process or whether they immediately fall behind Kamala Harris. I also think that, as I've been thinking about what led to Joe Biden stepping down here, there was a lot of pressure that we saw in the days leading into this weekend. And certainly that was something that we took notice of. But I had reported at the end of last week that there was expected to be some kind of big push on Monday or maybe even Tuesday, but all before Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel came to the Hill on Wednesday. There was going to be some kind of big push from Democratic lawmakers to make clear to Joe Biden that they did want him to step down. That could have been part of this, of the
How many of you guys predicted this? Do you think COVID-19 is a ploy? Like he really doesn't have COVID-19? It's just something they said because the stuff was obvious. It's getting too obvious that he is not capable of another 4 years. Let's see. John H. says, I wonder if COVID-19 got Biden to drop out. I wonder if the COVID-19 thing is as real as the Trump's ear. That's what I wonder. I don't believe any of it. I think we are at a pivotal moment in history that we can actually make a third party a viable asset in this country. That's what I think. I think we are at a pivotal moment where we could actually make a third party a viable asset in this country. Then we have to ask ourselves, well, who's the candidate? A lot of people are like riding for Jill Stein. I'm not one of them. I'm a Jasmine Sherman fan so far. That could change. We have a few months before November comes around. That could change. But it is really time for us to get our shit together and figure it out. Bye, John. Enjoy your dinner. So if we're doing third party, because I assume people who watch me are post-duopoly. I assume. I hope. I mean, even if you aren't, you're always welcome. But that's what I'm pushing for, post-duopoly. politics. I want a complete reset. I know that's not going to happen, but at least we could get a third party in the mix. Oh, Michael's here. What does Michael say? Oh,
I did.
can you put it back up? Thank you. I think the COVID story is a play, and over the last few months, it became increasingly clear that Joe would have to step down. Yeah, he just deteriorated too much too fast. That is correct. So what do we do now? Because I do not believe that America wants to. I don't believe they want to vote for Kamala Harris. I mean, who does? Hey, Bad Cookies. Who believes that they want to vote for Kamala Harris? If you're here, you can take a few seconds to hit the. Oh, thank you. That's correct. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I think the Democratic Party is in shambles. I think the Republican Party is acting like Trump is the second coming of Jesus, which is weird. And I think that this is the perfect time for us to come together and say, hey, if there's ever a time for a third party, the time is now. So we got to figure it out. Who, when, what, where, how, all the W's and the H. I think a lot of people are pushing for Jill Stein. That's not me. But I'm also feeling like, oh my gosh, if, I don't know. I really don't want to go for Jill Stein. But I'm really like, it's like a struggle in my brain of if that's where everybody's pulling to, do I need to, like take one for the team? Just not sure. What do y'all think? I saw a debate. There was a debate with Jasmine. No, not Jazz. She wasn't even on the debate. It was Jill Stein. It was, what's the libertarian candidate? I can't remember his name. Gary something. And then there was this other dude that wasn't even on the first presidential debate. Let me read this. It's interesting that Biden endorsed Kamala, but Obama has not. Yeah, I was going to talk about that. So now there's going to be a last minute scuffle over the leadership. I thought that was interesting too, Michael, that how can Biden endorse her and Obama does everything but fall short of endorsing Kamala? What does that mean? It means they know she can't win, and they're scrambling, trying to figure out who to put on the ticket that would make a winning ticket for the Democratic Party. So does that mean she's not going to be the presidential nominee? And they are in trouble because you cannot have Biden drop out, have this black woman. She's not black. She's not a black American woman. She's black in a, I guess, the holistic sense of the word, but she's not a foundational black American woman. She doesn't identify with us the way I would expect a black woman from America to identify with us. She just can't.
I want you to look at this.
So what? So, but a lot of black people feel like she's a black woman. So, what are they going to do? I find this extremely hilarious because you're going to lose the black vote if you don't give her the nomination as president, but you're going to lose anyway because she's like a Hillary Clinton candidate. People don't like her like that. So good luck, DNC. I'm gonna eat my ice cream and or popcorn, whatever, and laugh and enjoy the show. And it's gonna be a good show. Seems like everyone in the Democratic Party wants to be puppet master instead of the puppet. What do you get out of that? What does that mean to you?
But everybody wants to be. Democratic Party is a bunch of people that are controlled by their own individual gains. You know what I mean? They're just basically controlled. Like Hakeem Jeffries, to me, he's like a glorified Cory Booker, a more acceptable Cory Booker. You know what I mean?
But he said everybody wants to be the puppet master instead
That
of the
means that
puppet.
everybody trying
In
to
my
control.
eyes, everybody wants to be a puppet.
Mm-mm. Everybody's already puppets. You
Right,
know?
they're already puppets.
They don't want to be. They already. It's the Democratic
Oh,
Party
I
that's trying to control them.
So, Michael, you're saying like all these puppets want to
Control shit.
want to get puppet master status,
Mm-hmm.
but they they can't. The DNC is in control. They already told us this. They
Just
told
like
us
AOC tried
they're
to
a
get.
corporation. They're a corporation, and they decide the president, not the American people. The RNC is the same exact way. You were about to say something? You want to say it now? Okay, she's gonna say it in the chat. Can you do me a favor? While I'm talking, can you pull up this debate? It was Jill Stein. It was it's a third party debate, the most recent one. That would be lovely to watch. I would love for you guys to see this if you haven't, because I know a lot of people didn't even see the first third party debate. Now this one doesn't even include. So the first third party debate was like five people, I think. This one has been knocked down to 3, and one of the people is somebody entirely new. I've never seen him before. He wasn't in the first third party debate, and I'm like, who the hell is this? So I think we should focus less on this theatrics, this political theater, and focus more on what are we going to do to capitalize on this, because the elites, every disaster, every amount of chaos, they turn it into an opportunity. Are we? Can we? Let's turn this into an opportunity. So we need to rally together. We need to talk. We need to and it seems like people are like everybody's rallying around Jill Stein just because of the Green Party and people know her, but I'm not so sure. That's not I'm not so sure. So let me just play a little more of this. Hi, Mastermind. You finished painting? He has paint all over his hands. It's a day's worth of work. So I'm gonna. That's not it. Thank you. Wait, does it say free and equal debate?
Yes.
Yeah, the one in the middle. The middle. Play that. I think that's it. And make it big, please. Tasmit is learning. This is her first time sharing, so. Yes, Michael. While she's working on that, I'm going to read what Michael says. It's been a problem for centuries since I can't see. I am not even going to try to pronounce it. Merovingians, so I don't know who they are, at least. When the mayors of the palace had more influence over things than the kings who appointed them, the office of the American presidency. Mm-hmm. Something's not right. Something's not right.
This is it. I'm just saying it's the whole hour of it. Like, is there a particular way you want?
Something's not right, Tasha. It wasn't sharing. Just put. She's new to this. This is her first time sharing, so. No, don't. No. Okay, I'm going to play some more of this and I'm going to help her. How about that? I'm going to play some more of mine and I'm going to help her really quickly.
Someone that's going to make the case.
The communications director for First Lady Jill Biden, Elizabeth Alexander, said this: down to the last hours of the decision only he could make, she, meaning the First Lady, was supportive of whatever road he chose. She's his biggest believer, champion, and always on his side in that trusted way only a spouse of almost 50 years can be. We are also hearing about how busy President Biden has been since he made this decision and posted it. Today, the president has spoken to a number of members of Congress. He has been speaking to governors. Josh Shapiro confirmed that he had spoken to him. He's been talking to supporters, and he will continue to engage with key stakeholders tonight and tomorrow. In fact, for the first time, I saw from what was the Biden-Harris campaign, but from now, Joe Biden repeating his statement about his decision, but also giving his full endorsement to Kamala Harris and asking to support her campaign. So a fundraising email directly from Joe Biden, again, repeating his statements that he put out several hours ago. All of this leading me to the people who really count, and that's the voters, how they are reacting this hour. We know they've all been on their phones. We know they've been talking to folks, but let me bring in NBC's correspondent George Solis. He's in Butler, Pennsylvania, heavily Republican area, and obviously a location where the former president was the target of an attempted assassination. What are you hearing from voters there?
Yeah, hey, Chris, obviously the voters, it's not fair to, it's stretched to say that here in Butler, Pennsylvania, many are experiencing a little bit of breaking news whiplash. As you mentioned, it was a little more than a week ago that the eyes of the world were here in Butler in that failed assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. Today, we broke the news to many here in this community that President Joe Biden was not going to be seeking re-election, and in fact, endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris, many of them saying that's what they expected. And as you mentioned, it's fair to say that we're also here in the heart of Trump country, many of them excited by what this means for their candidate. They believe that this basically essentially secures the presidency for former President Donald Trump. Some of them saying it was about time, some of them saying they're sad to some degree that, you know, he should have done this sooner, and some now questioning the validity of whether or not the president can actually serve the remainder of the presidency. And again, those are just some of the dialogues that we've been having here with the voters. Here's a little bit more of my conversation with voters as we broke the news to them this afternoon. Where do we go from here?
I don't know. I think that's this scary part of it all, is that we just don't know what anything's going to happen. You know, like we don't know where it's going to go. And now it kind of shows that people's votes don't really matter, no matter who you vote for. If it's Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. It's just does our vote even count anymore?
So I'm looking forward to the future and what's going to happen now and who's going to win the race. And this is going to be exciting.
Does it make this interesting for this race?
Very interesting. Very, very, very.
Most interesting race I've ever seen.
Chris, and on the subject of Governor Josh Shapiro, earlier I also spoke with Representative Brendan Boy, who represents Pennsylvania's 2nd Congressional District. I asked him what he thought if Vice President Harris selected Josh Shapiro as a possible running mate should she get the nomination. Here's what he told me briefly. I'll paraphrase. He says, well, I'm always in favor of Pennsylvanians doing well. I've always loved the fact that literally the person in the White House right now, referring to Joe Biden, was born and raised in Pennsylvania, going on to say, I am always in favor of as many of Pennsylvanians getting as many jobs as possible. So you can kind of read between the lines on that. So we'll see where it goes from here, and we'll continue gathering reaction from the voters here in Butler, Pennsylvania, Chris.
George Solis, thank you. Let me.
No, thank you. What is he talking about? I just really want to know how people feel about this. They are like reaching for straws so badly. I don't know what they're going to do. Do you think they're going to make her the presidential nominee? And who's going to be her vice president? Gavin Newsom? Joe Manchin? I mean, it has to be someone that is controversially to the right, so it doesn't like set off buzzes in people's, in their in the elite's ears. Like, it has to be someone that they are going to feel is neutral. Hillary Clinton picked a nobody, but he was like anti-abortion. I don't even remember his name. Nobody knows him. Nobody cares. Obama picked Biden because Obama was black and they needed someone who has been clearly racist throughout his terms in Congress, so they didn't feel like, okay, well, this black dude's gonna just go off the rails. Trump picked Mike Pence so he could tell what's their names? Evangelists that he wasn't going to be too immoral, just immoral enough, I guess. I don't know why Obama picked Kamala. I mean, not Obama, Biden picked Kamala because she was the closest to black that they can get. Her husband is Jewish, a Zionist.
And she
and he gets the most donations from AIPAC. So I assume that's why he picked her. Like, she checked so many boxes for them.
One of his top things is talking about how he appointed the most women in the political cabinets and prestigious appointment positions.
Okay, yeah, his Supreme Justice, whatever. She's also married to a Zionist. So that means nothing to me. It means a lot to a lot of black people in the black community, though. It does mean a lot to them because a lot of people don't pay attention. But luckily I do, and I'm here for you. So she's going to have to pick someone who is completely out of pocket. Completely. so people will be comfortable with voting for her. Now, she already got the black vote, the boomer black vote, not the young black vote. But she has the boomers and she has the, what's his name? Clyburn. Clyburn already was like coming out to endorse her. Now we all know that Clyburn is a snake of the raccoon fashion. He's going to have a fish fry. He's going to have a barbecue. And he's going to rally people in South Carolina, and they need South Carolina. Oh, you can hear this?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fiddling with my my lip gloss and my lip balm. My bad.
Who she's gonna find.
My bad. I must be anxious. Let me put that over here. He's gonna have his fish fry. He's gonna have his barbecue, and he's going to rally the troops. And let's not forget that Clyburn is the one who was working with the Republicans to gerrymander his district to make sure he won the next election. That came out in a scandal. People forget that. So they work together. They are friends. Donna Brazile said so. She admitted as much. So I just want to get on and say my takeaways from this is now is the time for us to come together and really, really, really focus on a third party. Please and thank you. We got to figure out at this point that this is such a sweet spot that I don't even care what party it is at this point. It just needs to be something else. That's not true. I do care what party it is, because if it's libertarian, that's just Republican light. I'm not doing that. We couldn't find that debate, by the way, so maybe we'll have to do it later. But y'all know who I'm for. But we need to get together and figure out who, and rally behind them just so we could have an alternative. Because what we have now ain't working. We were supposed to be talking about price gouging tomorrow. But I bet we'll be talking more about Biden tomorrow, civilian discourse. I bet we were. We need to just start talking to our comrades, our other independent media hosts, and coming up with a plan. That's what I'm talking about. Like, fuck all that. We need to come up with a plan now. It's time to strike on the iron, and hopefully we can come together to do that. So that's what I came here to say. Oh, Michael said something. Let me see. But that's it. Any third party is not precise enough. Yeah, exactly. I said it, and when it came out of my mouth, Michael, I had to catch myself because I was like, you're talking out of desperation, and that's not you. Any third party is not good enough. I'm with you. I'm with you, Michael. I'm with you. And thank you for correcting me, because I had to correct myself in my head when I said it. It didn't even feel good. Oh, what's that? Thanks for popping in with Abby. Oh, thanks for popping in with me today, you guys. The onus is on all of us because this is a moment in American history that we cannot just let go by the wayside. We got to do something. The Democrats are in shambles. The Republicans are in la la land. The rest of us need to, what are we going to do?
I'm listening to what my let's see, Michael, my mastermind says this. Read this part.
What scares me? Oh, the celebrities are going to come out of
And this is what
every which of, oh, please do not listen to them. They are just a branch, an arm of the duopoly. It is their job to corral us. So we cannot listen to them. And please, Black people, entertainers are not political leaders. I don't give a goddamn what Amber Rose has to say, what Fat Joe, Charlemagne the God. No, I don't. The list goes on and on. Plies is another one that's like, I'm sure he's getting paid per tweet.
You know what nobody's ever asked right now? The most important question.
You got to speak in the mic.
What would Ja Rule say right now? You remember how Dave Chappelle was like, we have to stop this press, stop the world, stop everything.
They don't know what you're talking about, girl.
Ja Rule, that's just basically saying what you're saying. It's like, we got to stop the press and find out who the most non-trivial,
The non-what?
the non-popular rapper, most drop-off
Well,
motherfucker.
shoot, that would be Drake, and we don't want to hear what he got to say.
We all wondering, what does Drake think about Biden?
No, we
down?
not. No, we are not. He can't even say free Palestine, so why we worry about what he got to say?
We want to know what DJ Khaled had to say.
We don't want to know what DJ Khaled got to say either. Now she's being a jokester. We don't want to hear none of them fools.
Mastermind, right? I need to know, what does The Rock think? What does he think
Not
about
The Rock?
What does he think about Hulk Hogan?
What just happened?
But what does he think about Hulk Hogan?
I don't know what just happened. Can you fix it? Are you supposed? Oh, I need a new DJ. I'm gonna need a new DJ.
Advance notice would be nice, but this is America. This is America. We work on the fly.
You're doing good. You're doing good, T. So anyway, it's been like an hour. I'm gonna jump off. We're gonna talk more about this in civilian discourse. Maybe that's why that popped out. Like, we didn't try to do that, but maybe that's why. So civilian discourse tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central. We're supposed to be talking about price gouging, but I bet as more of this comes to light, we're going to have more to say. I really just kind of wanted to hear what you guys had to say. And then Tuesday, Tosh Schmidt is going to be talking about Black athletes and politics. And then we're going to come back on Thursday with Noteworthy with Nahilo Nordstrom, Michael. We don't have a topic yet. Stuff is moving so fast. We're not even going to pick our topic till probably Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday.
I want to see who the DNC, like Mastermind said, who will the DNC have to top Amber Rose? He said he think they're going to bring out Eminem. Nah, Eminem.
If they bring out Eminem,
Hulk Hogan was literally on the RNC conventions.
Hulk Hogan.
Do you and
Like,
look how it goes well. I'm
look
sorry,
at the comments.
but look how it
What?
goes well with Trump getting shot and the stage, the theatrics of it. He brought in Hulk.
Look at Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is the man who said, I'm paraphrasing, and I quote, I don't want my daughter dating a nigga. If she gonna date any nigga, it better be a NBA star or a NFL star, a nigga that's worth $1 million. That came out of his mouth, not mine. This is the dude you bring on the stage. And then they're talking about unifying America. Why? Can you move that logo?
This?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Oh, child.
I didn't put it there.
I'm going to have to work on her. I see a lot of comments. T, can you check before we leave?
Yes, I see, but it's not stuff to put on. It's private.
Okay, so we're gonna head out, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Oh, you're back? How was dinner, John? I think some socialist values made their way into American habits, but they refer to them differently. Socialist terms are still red flags. Socialist terms are definitely red flags to many people. It is because America has been propagandized to feel like if it's anything they don't agree with, it's automatically socialism, communism. And I bet you they can't define any of it. So that is a very good point. Thank you. Comments, T? I'm a fire T. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me do it over. Monday, civilian discourse, 5 p.m. Central. Tuesday, Tashmit is going to do a exclusive about black athletes in politics. Wednesday, my bad, Mastermind and Bad Rabbit. No disrespect. The 10 Rabbit podcast. So you guys go follow that. It's a 10 Rabbit podcast on YouTube. And then Thursday, so we have a full week. We really got to get our network together. If we have a full week of stuff. Oh, you have a court date on this Thursday, so you don't know if you'll make it. Okay. No, that's very important. Best of luck to you. You are doing great. Look, she said. You are doing great.
Thanks, Mastermind.
Get back on these comments, though. I see them.
Mastermind, I appreciate your support.
and you guys, please put positive energy into the air for the better half, who's recovering from mouth surgery, and I know that's hard for her. Nothing still fundamentally changes with Trump, no matter how much Sabby has live. I'm going to live at least one comment. Did I read that right?
Leave at least one.
Leave at least one comment. I haven't been watching Sabby Sab, so I don't know what she's been talking about. But I'm probably gonna go watch it now just because I'm curious now. Go to Monarch. I'm feeling some type of way. And I ask that you guys put positive vibes into the universe for Tasmit and I and elevate my education, because we are so close to opening a community center. I'm so excited. I mean, it's going to be a few months, but we're getting closer and closer with negotiations and talks and this and that. And I feel like you got to manifest stuff. You got to put it in the air. So that's why I'm putting it in the air now. And please put it in the air with us. I'm just gonna ask that every podcast from now until it happens. I was about to say happens, Apollo. I'm not gonna say that out loud until it happens. So yeah, are we ready to go? Or we have a few more?
I just want to say thanks, everyone.
Huh?
I was just saying, thanks everyone for popping in.
In the mic, T.
Thanks everyone for popping in today. We appreciate your voice, your input, and your unique perspective. We look forward to seeing you guys this week.
She's funny. Tasha, you just put me back on the screen. You're doing great, Tasha. You're doing great. Thank you, Michael. Good night. You're doing great, Tosh. Can you take me off the screen? You know how? All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. No. Who? Wait. What are you doing? Oh, what you doing, girl? I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
How many different things you just did? And you expect me to know that in 2 minutes?